Militant affection.
Can you hear me rustling around?
Hi everyone, welcome to Militant Affection. Wait. Zach, you're being super loud right now.
Well, I was asking if you could hear me rustling around.
Yeah, I can hear you rustling around.
Oh, okay, I'll be real quiet. I'm getting ready for
I'm
bed.
sorry, I really sprung this upon you.
It's all good.
I really sprung it on you.
I'm ready now.
You're ready.
You did.
Hi everyone.
Like a spring.
Welcome to Militant Affection. I'm here with my friend Zach. You may remember him from the couch. Before your username was penis, and now it's Mighty Pen.
Right, because the pen is mightier than the sword.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, say it's a little.
Yeah, and the way
more subtle.
this records is we can make little fun names, and because my logo is
Yours
just the
is
logo
Matt
for
Miller
the
Real.
Matt Miller Real. I'm always branding. Even I want you to know what my handle is.
You know, I get that you're always branding, but it's funny when you and I are just talking on the phone and you still sign off with your Matt Miller Real.
I always got to be pushing it. You know what I mean? I
get it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get more followers.
You don't want me to forget. I get it.
Yeah, I got to push the Instagram is where I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
I got it.
You just saw the RZA. It'd be funny if after seeing the RZA, you went home and jizzed.
Well, he was saying his mentor is named Jizza. But I don't know if that's a jizz reference.
Not being
Jizza?
Jizza? Wait,
Yeah,
you're coming in and
RZA
out
and
now.
the
What's
Jizza.
happening here? Are you still there? I just lost
What?
you for a second.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
No.
What about the
All
Jizza?
right,
What you just
sorry
saying?
about that.
No, it's
He
fine.
was saying his mentor. Yeah, okay. All right.
I hear you.
Jizza. Oh, should we start over?
No. We're already in it. We're already 2 minutes in. Do you think I'm going to edit this? People listen for the rawness. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So you saw the RZA of Wu-Tang Clan fame.
Yeah, he did a live film score to the Shaolin Temple movie, the Shaw Brothers movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Wait. So
And
that
they
mean he was
talked.
like a composer?
Yeah, it was like him and like two other DJs like standing on stage at the Coolidge Corner Movie House while this movie played on the giant screen behind them, and they just like jammed out. It was pretty nice.
That movie has like dialogue though, right?
Yeah, it had subtitles. They would kind of like stop playing when there was when it got real plot heavy, which for a kung fu movie didn't happen too much.
Yeah.
But every time there was like fighting, which happened a lot, there was a lot of music going on.
I don't know why I'm laughing at that. Oh yeah, a lot of fighting, a lot of music.
I'll tell you, it was very funny. It got a lot of laughs from the audience. The movie is like dubbed in English, and it matches up pretty good with their lip movements. But it's also subtitled in English, and that matches up with what they're actually probably saying in Chinese. And so the two are completely different from
Oh,
most of
really?
the movie. Yeah, it was very
That's kinda
sort of
silly.
dissonant. It was very silly.
But they have to know that's happening. Like, it's not like they didn't plan for that.
Well, he announced at the beginning, he's like, just so you know, the subtitles are a little different from the dialogue.
It's like, and then he said, fuck you, and and then the thing is like, hello, sir.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do when you subtitle these, right? Is you just kind of have a little fun with it.
Yeah. The key
in
to
Chinese.
podcast is the titles, really. It's the name of the
I like your
episodes.
titles.
Try to make it as click-worthy.
That was definitely the highlight of episode 22, was you coming up with the name. that was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the game I play. What were we talking about earlier today? The recession?
Oh yeah, I'm a great recession conspiracy theorist, or just like.
Well, you were talking about the banks
economy.
and how they ran out of money and they needed to take out a loan.
Yeah, I don't really understand it, but I know banks lend to other banks at
Yeah.
night when like Like, and they ran out of money. There was literally no money for the banks to borrow from each other. And so the federal government had to step in and lend like $50 billion. And the last time that happened was in the 2008 crash. Yeah. I mean, it's like $100 for every man, woman, and child in America.
What about non-binary people?
every human being, I guess.
All right. Thank you for being progressive.
Yeah. What are America's pronouns?
I think what are America's pronouns?
Because ships are like she.
Cars are she.
I think cars are she. Really?
Yeah. Don't you say her? Is it?
I think it depends on the car.
There's he cars.
Yeah, like
what are the famous
truck.
talking cars? Well, I guess like Knight Rider. That was a dude, right?
Herbie.
Dude.
Herbie the Love Bug.
What other famous talking cars? Well, Transformers were mostly dudes. Were there girl Transformers?
I don't remember any. Like a Smurfette of Transformer.
Yeah, like what's a girl car? I guess like a convertible. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they could be. Every car can be a lady. I don't know.
Every car can be a lady.
A lot of ladies drive Volkswagens, in my experience. A lot of ladies I've known.
Volkswagens, VWs,
and Jeeps.
And then the stereotype is like lesbians drive Subarus, right?
Yeah, I think they were like the first people to get it right on sort of like gay rights.
Subaru?
Yeah, they were like.
They came out for gay rights?
Yeah, they were like, family leave, and you can be gay openly, and we'll promote you and all that shit.
You can do gay shit in the
streets.
The 90s. My friend, an acquaintance of mine, Tom, got this was in like 2017, he got a new Subaru, and it reeked of weed for like the first 30,000 miles, and he didn't smoke weed, and that was a problem with the new, it was like a WRX. A problem with it is it smelled like weed for the first 30,000 miles. Like, that was just the scent of the car.
Not a feature.
And he's like, it smells weird. And it just like, and then if you Google it, you're like, yeah, that generation of car for some reason smelled like weed.
That's amazing. What part of it do you think made the weed smell?
Well, they made the entire car out of hemp. No, I don't know.
And get it. Everybody at the factory incredible.
He's funny too, because he's like a mostly sober kid. He was like all like weird about it. He was a weird dude. This kid Tom, he's like, how old is he now? He's like 27, still a virgin. Because he
not an incel though, right?
Well, I guess he is. Like, he would not be a virgin if someone slept with him. So he is involuntarily celibate.
But he doesn't identify.
No, he doesn't identify with it. Yeah.
Okay.
But like he did have a girlfriend in college for like a year. But I assumed they slept together, but I guess they never did.
Wow, that's either very frustrating or very kinky, depending on.
And she was like attractive. I don't even.
They must have done something.
I guess she was heavily depressed. Ooh. And she was taking whatever antidepressants that were like, yeah, they just ruin your sex drive.
Yeah.
But
that's
what?
Yeah. I was gonna say that's why I take them, like, so that I don't worry about my slow dating life.
I only want to do this cast right now just to like, so I can stop looking up escort services online. I've recently we've changed my mind on prostitution. I like the idea of it right now because it's just like so dirty and taboo. That's the reason I like it.
You were saying that they're trying to legalize it in New York. Yeah. That's happening. I think that's great. No one should go to prison for sex.
Yeah, no.
I mean, consensual sex.
Yeah, I just did a sexual. I mean, I'm not really looking at escort services right now. But I was just checking them out to see what what we had to offer. But what the fuck was it about? I had a good. We were just talking about like if it got passed, then people that had prostitution in a school zone would remain in jail. but everyone else would be let out.
I'm just wondering, who's turning their tricks like on the playground?
You ever have sex in a playground? That's like a classic place.
Rooftops.
Of a playground? A roof.
I'm not I'm shy outside.
Yeah, you're not flashing your dong out.
No, I mean I do it in front of a window, but actually outdoors.
I only fingered a gal in a playground. I never had sex in a playground.
That counts.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It was like 12:30, maybe probably later than that. I don't know.
And if you had paid her and gotten caught,
I would have been fucked.
Then you would have that. Yeah,
I'd have to wait for it to be legalized completely.
Right. You'd have to be like second wave legalization, not first wave.
And even then, I'd get in trouble for like doing sex stuff in a school zone. Like that'd still be illegal. It's not like that would.
Right. We really don't want to put those two things together. This is what we talked about last time a little bit.
School zones?
Yeah. Zoning law regulations in general. That was a big point of emphasis.
Zoning laws. See, this is supposed to be a trauma podcast, but I mean, you listen to that one episode. I go off on the rails. This is really, at this point, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was waiting for you to ask. I didn't want to just like throw my trauma in your face.
You got some new ones? Let me hear them. Throw them at me.
God.
Throw it at me.
Oh my god! All right. Do you want to hear about the crazy person?
Oh, I want to hear about the craziest person.
All right. So, the sort of the frame of this is sometime in my like late teens, early 20s. I kind of lost my mind. I mean, like I couldn't concentrate.
Wait, when did you have a kid?
22. And yeah, that was like the beginning of when I started to get it back together. But I definitely, when he was born, when I found out my kid was going to be born, my initial response is, "Oh, that'll be interesting." Yeah. like no like awareness at all. So I moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, with my then girlfriend, who would later become my baby mama. And then she moved back to Boston.
What was the significance of there?
There's another trauma.
Oh, really?
Well, so my dad had this aunt who was like a vagabond.
So this would make your great aunt then, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, my dad had a sister. I just fucked up.
Yeah, the verbiage, yeah.
Yeah, we're allowed to swear.
No, it's no swearing. Right? So whatever, just replace your swears with other words.
Fudge.
Thank you.
So my favorite aunt, crazy Aunt Sarah, who used to lock herself in the bathroom playing solitaire and chain smoking little like hand-rolled drum cigarettes, got cancer and was like living in New Mexico. Yeah, I know, it fucking sucked. She was like,
lung cancer
person on earth. Yeah, everybody, my father and both of his sisters all died of lung cancer. Yeah. All three of them. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Were they vaping?
They were in the cutting edge. Growing up in the 50s in St. Louis.
Yeah, these huge. Yeah, the batteries were huge then. Car batteries, basically.
They were pretty big. Yeah, it was like one of those little Tesla things with the
Yeah, that's when the vapes really got you.
What it was called? Jacob's Ladder. That's what it was.
Jacob's Ladder. All right, go on.
Okay, so my wonderful aunt, I used to go out and visit her in New Mexico, and then the last time I visited her, she got really sick, and then the time after that, she was dead. So we moved, but I just like it out there. Have you ever been to Albuquerque or like northern New Mexico? No. It's good. It's good up there. The air smells nice.
What does it smell like?
It's like sage. They have like all this wonderful, and like the desert sage too, like a really.
Is it like incense sage?
You know, like you ever get a smudge stick?
Smudge stick,
like those little wrapped.
Oh, well, I don't play that way. I'm not hanging out where you're. A smudge stick. What are you talking?
It's probably a dirty word now if I look it up on Urban Dictionary.
Get your smudge sticks ready.
Yeah, I mean smudging sounds really.
You ever use incense? Yeah. You know, there's an incense called like black pussy. Like that's a type of incense.
Isn't that a panther? Or are you talking about like?
No, well, there's incense pussy, There's an incense called pussy, and there's a black pussy one. I only learned this through like some other podcasts, and like people like grew up on smelling black pussy incense. But anyway, go on.
The first black woman I ever made out with, had sex with, whatever we
had
did.
sex with whatever you did.
Well, I don't remember the details of the interaction. It was a girl I met in college.
Also, it was nighttime, and you couldn't see her. What? She smelled like...
She smelled like cinnamon. It was like this
stripper
incredibly fragrant. Jeez.
Sorry, I'm just doing all these bits.
That's your
all
job.
These little bits, all these little heckles. She smelled like her entire body?
Yeah, it was like, that skin smell is always a little bit musky.
Yeah, sure.
Hers was like musky with this like really nice, almost like pumpkin spice.
Was it fall?
It wasn't perfume. It was her body just had this wonderful smell. Yeah.
Let me tell you, when I used to go to the clubs, one time I met this, like, she was a very heavy-set black woman, and we snuck to, like, the back part of the bar where, like, no one was, and we were, like, making out, and then, like, one of the, like, bouncers or whatever guys inside, like, made us move, and then, like, we were, like, just sitting at, like, a booth, and she's like, if my friend comes over, just tell her that you're one of my friends. It was, like, this whole weird thing.
Wow.
And that's pretty much the end of this. Nothing happened. Like, she just left.
Wait, is the point of that story about that you once met a black woman?
I'm just trying to show that this isn't just all white dudes. This isn't just all... I had a mama on this. She is Indian, but it's mostly been just white people on this podcast. So I'm trying to push that I know black people or other races.
Oh, my God. That's... There were probably 3 or 4 people of color in the entire 500-person audience for this RZA show.
Really?
Yeah, we're all sitting in seats at this like nonprofit movie theater, and paying. Yeah, it was weird, but people were super everybody was so in awe of him. It was cool.
Anyhow, your aunts.
So my aunt died, but I fell in love with New Mexico after visiting her a bunch of times in Taos, Pueblo, and Santa Fe. So I moved to Albuquerque because I thought it'd be cool. My girlfriend moved back to Boston, and then I get a studio apartment.
Wait,
in the sort of in Albuquerque. It's like $300 a month, like probably like certainly huge by Manhattan standards, big by Boston standards. And it overlooked the graveyard, which is like one of the only patches of green in Albuquerque. Like there's not a lot of green parks in like the desert. So I used to like look out the window over this like graveyard. That was like my window looked out over this graveyard, which was like pretty because it was grassy. And I think that what happened was every once in a while I would jerk off in the window.
To the graveyard?
I mean, I wasn't.
You're just like, I'm sure there's tons of hot people buried in this graveyard.
It was just the melange of like, the air blowing through the window on a hot day and pretty. I don't know why.
Was it in a school zone?
Maybe I was just. Well, I wasn't, but the jizz ended up. It was
you don't have control over where your jizz goes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It just caught wind. Say.
But would you think about? I guess you would think about stuff to jerk off to, right? You weren't just jerking into the wind.
I have a rich fantasy life. But the reason I say that is because like about a day later, this guy like showed up at my door. This like weird short guy named Johnny, sort of like dirty, messy, clearly homeless, filthy guy who said he was looking for somebody who wasn't me. And I was like, that guy doesn't live here. And then he and I got talking. I think I offered him some coffee or something like that. And you have to realize I was like not.
Wait, who was this guy? He just showed up?
So this is a total stranger homeless dude who just showed up on my
Wait, can I just pause the story for a second? Because there used to be this comic, Robbie, I can't remember his fucking name, Robbie something. He was funny. He would tell these dirty jokes, but he had this joke. I'm gonna fuck it up. I can't completely remember it. But he's like, the worst part about summer ending is now I have to masturbate inside or something like that. He had another joke that was like, he's like, I had this Chinese friend that like he wanted to prove stereotypes wrong, so he like pulled down his pants to like pull down his pants. And I'm like, that's a weird way to tell me you're not good at math. But yeah, Robbie. I wish I knew his fucking name. You guys should check. I don't know if he still does comedy, but those are. I'm just ruining his jokes. But go on. This homeless guy. It just reminded me. This dude was a good dude. Robbie something. If I remember his name, I'll tell everyone what his name is. But he was a weird kid. A good kid. Anyhow, homeless guy. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
You ready? So yeah, so I got it. So like I was out of my mind. Like I had painted in like rainbow colors on the walls. Like,
were you on drugs?
What you need. Give which I was smoking a little bit of pot, but I not enough to proportionate to the amount of crazy. Yeah. It was like 95% crazy, 5% pot. I was out of my fucking mind. It's hard to describe. Like looking back, it's like I can't even imagine.
Were you possessed?
I did. I invited the homeless guy to come live with me. I like let him.
His name was Johnny. Is that what you said?
Like,
yeah,
Johnny. Yeah, this weird ass dude, and he would like we'd sit there and talk, and he had like a knife on the table, and he kept saying shit like "Sorry about the rough stuff, kid," and then he was like talking about having sex with these two sailors.
What? Like he was gay?
He was like, yeah, I think he was.
I think
gay,
homeless people kind of just become gay. It's like prison gay. But go on.
Like like he stayed one night, and this was a studio apartment, so we were both like sleeping in this thing. He didn't touch me, thank God. But he was staying with me, and he was creeping me the fuck out, and I was feeling really crazy, and the whole place smelled like homeless person.
Sure, that's
and
not
then he
cinnamon
moved in
smelly.
all his homeless stuff, like all these
homeless
bags
stuff,
or whatever.
Like a shopping cart and like tarps, newspaper.
You know, it was like a lot of black trash. I think it was
racist.
like 3 or 4 black trash bags that he threw in the closet.
Yeah, classic homeless
like
stuff. Dunkin'
I
Donuts
remember
cup.
this was the weirdest thing he did, and he did a lot of really weird, creepy shit. But the one I remember was he took a can opener, opened a can of beans of mine, and then drank out all the bean juice and left the beans behind.
What?
Yeah,
that's hardcore. That's like top tier homeless.
Right?
You just.
Yeah, this guy was fucking crazy. And then I couldn't get him to leave. And so I had to like lock him out. And like he came back at 3 a.m. and I was like screaming at him. And I called the police. And the police like didn't come. And then I was like, he's back again. They're like, no, he's not. We're outside your house. Don't call us anymore. It was fucking crazy.
You should have told them that he was an armed black man. Then they definitely would have showed up.
I should have. They would have, killed him. That would have been terrible.
Yeah. I was just talking about homeless people. Homeless people is a weird predicament, right? Because like they can't like hold a job because they're too crazy, and nobody loves them to home them. So what do you do with them?
Well, I think that's actually not all the homeless people. I think that's like a sliver of the homeless.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them are like working jobs but can't afford homes, or just like unstable. They're not all the dirty street homeless.
Dirty street homeless.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So wait, so you called the police, they did whatever, and he never returned?
Well, he kept coming back. Well, I think I ended up throwing all his shit. Basically what happened was, this story gets really weird. So I had an old VW microbus. It was like a 68
microbus.
VW microbus. Like the little van, the camper van, with like nowadays someone would pay like $12,000 for it to take it to Burning Man, but
sure.
I think I got it for like $1,200.
The old 10 times inflation.
Well, it's just the camper vans are hip because of festivals.
Yeah. This reminds me of something else, but go on. It's completely off topic. Because I can save it. I'll make a note.
So I actually bought a train ticket to go back to Boston, but there's this flyer that I saw as I was leaving, because I had to kind of get rid of my van, that's like looking for VW microbus, must be 67 or 68.
Not 69.
Right? Like it was it was like that specific. I'm telling you, right? Yeah, not a 69. Yeah. Those ones run backwards. So I called these guys up, and we ended up meeting at a coffee shop, and it was like 3 or 4 guys. It was like a guy and 2 girls. It was like a bunch of people. And they were really weird. And they're like, yeah, we just really want this one. Can we test drive it? And they didn't know how to drive a stick. So the guy was like, weird. And then they're like, yeah, we've got like, I was like, well, maybe I'll meet you guys tomorrow. I'm leaving town tomorrow on the train. And they're like, okay, well, we got to hold on to the owner's manual. It was like this whole weird like thing. They just wanted to and so I don't know. Anyhow, these guys showed up at the train station, but I didn't get on the train. I ended up giving. I'm sorry, this is getting.
What are
too
you
crazy.
Talking about, Zach?
Okay.
What are you talking about? This is getting so crazy.
I think there was. I think this is what I believe happened.
I recently learned that saying "I think" is not a good way to start a thing. You should know.
I think. All right. Yeah, I know. I psychically know that this guy Johnny, like, basically told these three weird, like, I think junkies, to like put up this sign to try to.
Oh
steal my
fuck!
van,
That's so crazy.
They wanted to take it for like 8 hours.
And
or
what, fucking
like,
it?
Yeah, can we take it to the mechanic and bring it out? No, they like literally wanted to take it with the keys. They're like, we'll come back.
How can you trust that?
No,
yeah. Can we just borrow this with the keys for a little bit? Yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah. So for some reason, I gave him the owner's manual, and then I was supposed to leave the next day, but I didn't. I think I ran into my friend, and then I was calling the train station to like change my ticket, and they're like, these guys showed up looking for you at the station. Like, it was just weird and creepy. I don't know. That's
so how has that affected your life to today?
Well, I'm definitely less willing to let strangers live in my home.
And that's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what it reminded me of? Okay, so I recently learned, I was taking a sexual harassment course, right? And then they had like a whole list of like people that got Me Too'd, right? And there was one lady that owned this company called Thinx. You hear this? Thinx? It was like, they made like period panties, right? And she got Me Too'd because she was the CEO. I forget her name, and she liked to walk around the company naked. Like, that was what she did. She would just walk around naked, and she would encourage her employees to get naked. She was mostly female staff. And then
this was Dev Cheney.
Is that her name?
No, that's the guy who runs American.
Yeah, this is a lady.
Or Rail.
Yeah. This is a lady. But like, and then she would like make fun of fat employees. And then, like, old employees, women over 30, she'd call nannies, and women that were, like, in their 20s, she'd call something else.
Jesus.
But, like, she didn't go to jail. She, like, has another company now.
Yeah, I don't think any of that stuff is illegal. It's just you usually get fired for it.
But she was the CEO. Yeah.
Right, or sued. Like, that's crazy.
And I was like, I never heard of this.
Do you know about the Ring of Gyges? This is like a philosophical
The Ring of
thing.
Gyges?
Yeah, so Plato, in his sort of like, I think it's in the Republic, but it might be somewhere else. He's talking about morality. And there's this famous ring called the Ring of Gyges that makes you invisible.
It's like Lord of the Rings.
Right? Lord of the Rings, I believe, is sort of a fantasy riff on this.
Okay. You know how much I love a fantasy riff.
That's mostly
what we talk about now.
What you do. Pretty hard fantasy, orcs and elves. So the theory was that if you had this ring, like, that would basically grant you the power. You could like steal things. You could like bust into bathhouses and look at people naked. He said anyone who had this ring would immediately become corrupted by it and start to live a bad life. And basically, the argument was that we're all fundamentally immoral. And when we have power to do weird, crappy, immoral things, that's just
Well, is that like how rich people become pedophiles?
I think it kind of is. Like, yeah, it's like the rules don't apply, and then you just do the worst shit.
But when you think that you don't, like, I don't want to be a pedophile, like, how would, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Matt. It's probably whatever your particular kink is. Like, you might cover yourself in food, or
I mean, I like to eat.
Get a lot of escorts. I bet you'd probably get a lot of escorts.
I've never gotten an escort.
I don't know. What do you think if you could basically have an unlimited supply of anything or everything? What do you think would be the first one that you overdid it with?
An unlimited supply of anything. What would I overdo it with? Well, I mean, it would probably be pussy, right? But it would be...
Yeah,
but I'd
probably.
be of age. I have no interest in children. Are like dirty and gross. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm not saying everybody would have the same perversions. I'm just saying those who had those perversions would feel free to exercise.
Wait, what is
them
this
to
call?
their extremes. So the Ring of Gygas, Gygis. Yeah. But you could substitute the Lord of the Rings for it. The whatever.
What is the moral of Lord of the Rings? Like if you got a ring, throw it in a volcano.
Now, if things get bad, an eagle will bail you out.
There'll be one creepy guy that kind of talks funny. He's like, I don't even know. It's like if you're an old wizard, if you die, you'll get reincarnated.
Right.
What the fuck was Lord of the Rings was even about?
Well, that we could talk
for hours.
I mean, you know, okay. I'm going to admit right now, I've never read it.
Have you seen? Did you watch the movies?
I find them incredibly boring. And the only way I got through the last one was by getting very drunk.
I can't even watch a movie drunk. It's like
house.
I have to pee the whole time. I can't pay attention. Hey, we're back. The cast just stopped recording my mic.
All right, Matt. Before you wrap it up, I just want to. You ever notice that you sometimes say the most brilliant things when somebody disconnects and just doesn't respond for like a minute?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you're just talking about you literally disconnected when you were saying the Lord of the Rings sucks, and you started talking about the Hobbit and millennials and shit. I may leave that in, just for fun.
You feel free to cut it. I feel like it's like I ran the light there.
Or maybe I'll just add it. I'll put it on the Patreon because I have 2 Patreon people, and they could really use that. Are you one of them?
I was, and then my credit cards got messed up.
It's 2 strangers could hear it.
All right.
So maybe one day there'll be a third. But you didn't like Lord of the Rings movies? I can see that. They are kind of boring. It's just a lot of bullshit.
They're boring and a little trite, yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I did. I watched all of them, and I read the books.
God damn.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy them? I guess you did if you watched everything.
Well, I didn't like the show very much. I liked the books very much.
Are the books done?
No, that's why I had to start watching the show again.
Oh, okay.
So I could find out what happened. It was going to be spoiled one way or another.
Yeah. I didn't watch it.
Oh, you should. It's got a lot of sex in it and violence.
Oh, sex and violence. I get sex and violence on the internet. All right. Well, I think we should wrap this up.
All right,
it's already 1:24 in the morning. Basically, what's happening is we're going to go into a recession and we're all fucked. Is that the answer? Global warming's going to end the world?
Probably. But, maybe we'll turn it around.
I like your name change. You went penis, and then what did you do? What was the next one? Pen? The mighty pen?
Yeah.
And then now you're limp sword. It's like a whole range of his username.
The pen is mightier than the sword, which is limp. All right.
All right, Zach.
You sure you want after this? You want to just give me a call? We can chat. No, I got to go to bed.
We can chat beyond this. Yeah,
I think it's so much fun.
This was good. Zach. This is no knock on you. It's just because I'm thinking it and I have to say it, and I'm always a bastard.
Go for it.
Is the last one that we recorded? You're one of these people that talks like with a very mouth noisy.
Uh-oh.
And I had to edit it all out. But this one I think sounds good.
I think it's because of the headphones that I got on.
Yeah. Because the other one, because you were holding the microphone up to your mouth, there was no distance, that you made so much mouth noise.
Oh, well, that's. I'm glad you said that.
I don't know. I have to tell you these negative things.
But Matt, maybe you could think of it as a positive thing because you're giving me informative feedback by being honest that helps me become a better person.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't realize you're doing mouth noise until after the fact.
Okay.
But this one sounds good. Is all I'm saying.
Wait, Do you think you think if somebody say is wearing a horrible outfit, like a terrible dress that looks awful, and you say that it looks awful, that's not nice,
I guess that's true. Honesty doesn't have to be nice.
right? Like if you're like, "Oh, you look great," isn't that a lot meaner?
But I guess even saying you have mouth noise isn't mean. That's just how your mouth is.
That's just the facts.
Yeah.
And you went through the trouble of editing it all out, so I didn't sound like a lip smacking freak.
Yeah.
So
And I Googled it, and it is a common problem, and there's no great way other than editing it out, is what I learned. Is that even your professional audio mixer just has to edit it out.
do you think I could speak differently though, or is it just that's just what's going to happen?
I think that some people just talk that way. They just have,
Oh my
like,
God.
mouth noise. So you're a mouth noise guy. You know what I do? I listen to myself, and I heavy breathe. Like, in my down pauses, I'm always like, I'm just a heavy, fat breather.
I thought that was like your catchphrase.
I just heavy. It's like the interesting about recording audio is I learn all these little nuances to how, like, audio, like, people speak. Yeah, my catchphrase is heavy breathing. People listen to it's just like so when we do a podcast together, it's just like it's like ASMR for the like a fucked up person.
Oh man, you broke me. All right.
That was the quickest 30 minutes I've done. That was real quick.
Yeah, we always talk good.
I don't even know what we talked about. It was like we talked about like one thing, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, we just did us. Next time, I feel like next time I should ask you some questions. I asked you like one or two tonight, but I feel like I should get into it with you.
This is like episode 25. I've talked a lot about myself. That's why I need you as a guest, Zach. I need your input.
Do you really think you don't have more?
No, I got
Really?
more. I could totally do a million of them just myself.
Yeah.
I just want to spice it up. I like to have as many white men on it as possible.
The Zach Galifianakis, the new Between Two Ferns movie is fantastic.
I kind of half watched it, so I don't have a good verdict on it. I just had it on while I was doing things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like a Scott Aukerman.
It seemed
thing.
fun. It seemed silly.
It's good. He's got a joke. He's like, I need a talk show, and he's like, and I'm a straight white man, so I deserve it.
Yeah.
A nice little line.
I thought the trailer for it made it look bad, but then when I was watching it, I'm like, this is okay.
It's Scott Aukerman. If you like Comedy Bang Bang, and Between Two Ferns, and you want an hour and a half long illegitimate baby of that, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's real goofy. I mean, I'm gonna spoil it. Yeah, I did watch the end where he's just like he's like, oh, you played Wonder Woman. You ever wonder, like, what did he say? He's like, you ever wonder as a woman, and they got up and danced, and then
Yeah.
All right, Zach.
All right, Matthew. I guess we're calling it a night.
We got it. We got to call it a night, dude.
All right.
It's late. Anything you want to say now?
No, this is a real joy. Thanks for calling me up. I always like talking to you.
Hey, I appreciate it. This is like a legit conversation because it's 1:30 in the morning.
This is about what you call.
This is a real time. Any football predictions? We gotta predict week 4.
We're gonna do the Bill Simmons thing.
Yeah.
4 hours.
Who's gonna win week 4?
I thought it was week 3.
No, but this isn't gonna come out. Like, this is gonna come out tomorrow, but then the games are already be played. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta predict week 4. No, it doesn't matter. We can.
I think teams that either the name of the team starts with a P or that are from places with a P are going to win. Are going to win.
Patriots, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I don't think Pittsburgh's going to win. Big Ben's out.
Yeah, they're going to win.
Okay, they're going to win.
Panthers.
I
think teams that start with vowel letters are also going to do really well.
Like what?
Atlanta.
Okay.
Teams or places.
Atlanta.
The Aquanauts.
The Aquanauts.
Yeah.
The environmentalists. The popular football team, the Environmentalists. They play on grass, never turf.
Oh,
They don't tailgate, they bike gate. You know what I'm saying? People don't.
it's the most ridiculous team name I've ever heard.
I'm trying to think. The Yellowstone Environmentalists. I don't know. Those are good predictions.
Yeah, right.
If you're gonna bet on any team, just bet the Patriots to win. Just bet them to win. Put your life savings on them. Lock of the week.
You know what the return on it is so low.
Oh, you're gonna get nothing back. You're gonna get You put $1 million, you'll get $1,005,000. You'll get $5.
Yep. It's basically like getting interest at the bank.
You know what has good interest? Local banks. Local banks are legit.
Oh yeah.
I remember when I had when I lived in Franklin, I had Benjamin Franklin Savings Bank. I actually got in the tenure of having it, maybe $25 in interest for my checking account.
Wow.
Which I feel like is pretty good.
That's good. Yeah, you're good. You're good with Matt. Are we just going? Is that what's going on?
No, we're ending it. We're ending it. But I'm just we're just fucking around. This is
with a little local bank time.
This is garbage time. This is garbage time at the end of the cast. People could just stop listening at this point. I'm just trying to inflate my stats. You know what I'm saying?
Are you just gonna wear people out so that they all just stop listening you start making a buzzing sound?
I feel like that's kind of like life. You get so old that you're just kind of like, I'm dying now. And that's what I like my art to be.
It just burns itself out. It fades away.
Yeah, life is like a candle, you know what I'm saying? If you leave it unattended, it could burn the house down. All right, Zach. Appreciate you getting on this so late. I know I keep you up so late.
It's a pleasure, though. It's all good.
We will end now. All right. Thanks, Zach.
All right. Take care. I'll talk to you soon, Matt.
That's been Militant Affection. I'm at Matt Miller, real and all things Matt Miller Comedy on YouTube. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Militant Affection.